Hello everybody, it's Andy Cloudy Milder, your self-anointed metal mogul, with a collection update, last one of the year. I've been trying hard to, this here is like a little vinyl rack, that's my What's Spinning. There we are. It's got a Ramones album on it at the moment. That's an old one, but I've been trying really hard to clear that down because that's kind of my inbox overflow, and it's getting a little bit ridiculous now. So I'm trying to concentrate on what I have rather than pick up anything new just yet. But none of these things have been shown in a collection update video, but one or two may have appeared in my 80s collection flick through videos that I've been doing so far. I've got to put the music on. So what we're listening to in the background is Greyhawk with A Ride Out. It's a mini album, difficult to read, blue on black. It's good, it's kind of like epic metal. They're a Canadian band, this is from 2014. And actually listening to this reminds me of, or was a good way to describe this first album that I'm going to show. And this is Terminus, a Single Point of Light. Now, I bought this, I may have even pre-ordered this to get it on the release day, because I am a big fan of their first album, the Reaper's Spiral, I think it's called, and that was a concept album that was all the songs and lyrics were kind of based on Isaac Asimov stories. And not that I'm a big fan of him as an author, but it was just a really cool album, and the artwork and the package was fantastic. CD player still trying to keep up the ghost. So this was released in 2019, but it never really clicked, and it went into the inbox, and it slowly worked its way back to the point where I almost forgot about it. But I pulled it out again recently. I think Bev showed it recently, so I thought I would get it out and give it another go, and I'm glad I did. Just, inner lyrics, and quite sure what that is. It's kind of epic metal. Now these Terminus I think are a two-piece band. There's the label, like the cover. Two-piece band from Ireland, and one guy does all the music and one guy does the vocals. And this is clicked with me now. The vocalist sounds a lot like the guy on Greyhawk, to be honest with you. You've kind of got clean, sort of well-pronounced, epic metal vocals. But, Flesh Falls from Steel is a great song. So 2019 release, finally working its way through into my ears and onto the shelves. Gillen Magic from 1982. Unfortunately for me, the magic has gone. Very late to the party with Gillen. I picked up a bunch of his albums. I've been working my way through and enjoying them. Double Trouble, is it Mr. Universe, Glory Road. Really liked all those albums, but this one's it almost seems like it's taken a step back. It's very sort of keyboard organ, a lot like Deep Purple, I guess. There's Yannick Gers on this one as well, and it's almost as if Towns, what's his first name? I always want to call him Devon or Kurt, and it's neither of that. But yeah, Towns, the keyboard player, it's almost like he's got given the freedom to write what he wants, because it is a very, very keyboard organ oriented and has a lot more of a 70s rock, Deep Purple type feel to it as well, unlike the early albums, which are a lot more I guess in keeping with the early 80s metal hard rock sound. So unfortunately this is kind of where I'm going to fall off with Gillen, and I doubt this is going to stay in my collection either, because it's just not worth it. Some more Canadian metal. We're listening to some Canadian metal, and this is one of the bands I think that were very influential in the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal movement really kicking off, it's Striker with their self-titled album Striker. This came out in 2014. I think it's their 6th studio album. When I first saw it and saw it was self-titled, I presumed it was their first album, but they've had quite a few out before this. But this is the first one that I've actually picked up, and that was courtesy of a great deal on EMP. 10 tracks. I believe Desire is a Aussie cover, but it's not a song that I instantly recognised, so until I actually looked up and saw that, I presumed it was one of their songs. So it's one of those cover versions that I didn't know originally, so quite enjoy on the album, because it's one that I didn't realise was a cover to start with. This one, yeah, it comes with an inner. So this is what Striker looks like. I think I have heard recently that these guys have just split up. I hope not. If I am wrong, feel free to correct me. But I'm sure I read that somewhere, and then the labels are pretty much like the cover art as well. But great traditional heavy metal, galloping guitars. Everything I need from a heavy metal album, really. Modern twist to it, obviously, being 2017. But great album, well worth picking up. Back to the 80s now, 88 to be precise. Chrome Molly with Angst. This is on IRS Records. The most interesting thing about the album, really, is the IRS label. It's black and whatever, but it is wafer thin. It's almost like a flexi disc, but it sounds really, really good. I mean, all the talk about 180 gram vinyl and all the effort that people put into it, but you know what? If it's a good pressing, it's a good pressing, isn't it? This, for me, they're a lot more pop rock than I remember. But I have a feeling that is more just down to the production. So I saw Chrome Molly a few years ago, supporting Graham Bonnet Band, and they don't recall them having a keyboard player on stage, and they sounded fun. They just rocked. They were just went up there, played their songs, and it was a thoroughly good band, support band for Graham Bonnet. But on here, it's a bit too pop rock for my taste. There are some decent tracks on here, but yeah, it's not really my thing, I have to say. This might surprise one or two people. So a little bit of Queen. I'm not the biggest fan of Queen, but I do like Queen. I like a few of their earlier albums. So I'm that guy that is or was pretty much happy just to have the Queen's Greatest Hits, that first album, which I think is a phenomenal Greatest Hits album. It's really all I ever listened to. But I do like things like Sheer Heart Attack, Night at the Opera, obviously, and Day at the Races. This popped up nice and cheap. So this is the 2015 reissue, remaster, all that jazz, 180 gram vinyl. Originally came out in 75, I think, and this is their 4th studio album. It's on gatefold with the lyrics on the side. It did come with a printed inner sleeve with some great live shots there, like proper inner sleeve. But the record didn't come in the inner sleeve. The record actually did come in its own polyline sleeve as well, which is a nice touch. So they're obviously trying to replicate the original. It sounds amazing. But I say this is the normal thing that you see in the show, because it's almost cabaret in places, a bit cabaret. But I absolutely love it. It is. It's just a fantastic album. Maybe I'm in love with your cars a little bit lame, but songs like Lazy Sunday Afternoon, Death on Two Legs, brilliant. The Prophet's Song, Bohemian Rhapsody, obviously. God Save the Queen, I could skip that as well. Even things like Love of My Life, the summer ones, and it just sounds absolutely fantastic. So I do like a bit of Queen. I'll throw that on occasionally. But from Queen to the opposite end of the spectrum, I'm all over the place on this video. So A little something for everybody. This is the first release reissued from Gert. Now, Gert are a kind of sludge doom metal band from the UK. This was originally released in 2011. This is the 5th anniversary reissue. Not a big Led Zeppelin fan, but Rock and Roll is a Led Zeppelin cover, so if you want to hear that done in a doom sludge style way, then this is the release for you. Love this album artwork. Just looking at it, it just reminds me of a Highland coup, but every time, it's one of those album covers you can study it and you'll see different images in there. There's a wolf here, and what's that? Almost looks like a squirrel shagging another squirrel. I hadn't noticed that before. Or is that weird. And there's obviously some weed or grass down here, and the band name is just visible through the brown hairs. Oh, CD skipping all over the place. I think I mentioned that before. My CD player is about to die, but simple and to the point song titles. This is on When Planets Collide Records. It's a 10-inch on clear vinyl, and I pick up everything that Gert released. I'm not every variation, but every album that they've done to date. So I was glad when this came up on a Bandcamp Friday a few months back and had to grab it. Thrash metal, Holy Terror, Mind Wars. So I'm a really big fan of Terror and Submission. This is a Back on Black reissue, and this year Back on Black reissues, especially ones that came out, when was this one, in 2017, especially ones that came out 4 or 5 years ago, they've been really cheap on eBay. I must have picked more Back on Black reissues from 3 or 4 years ago this year than any other release. So Holy Terror, Back on Black don't try and do sort of perfect replicas. It's usually the front and the back of good reproductions, but they all stick them on gatefold, and you'll either get some sort of lyrics or biography or collage. And this I imagine may have been the original inner sleeve thrash collage type thing. Speed thrash metal. It was. Is it Gert? Gert, read the back of the album. Kurt Kilfelt was originally in Agent Steel, and he left to form Holy Terror. Amazing artwork. That looks like Eddie the Head, slightly demented inbred brother. But there we go. But yes, fantastic thrash metal. This is from 1988, when thrash metal was king. And if you've not heard Holy Terror, or you've not heard Mind Wars, try and grab a copy of this. Still on eBay, certainly in the UK. You can get this for a pretty decent price. Some Saxon Sacrifice. I did show this on a pickups video one time, I think, when I came back from Birmingham. I had a bit of a vinyl haul video, but I've only really, in the last couple of weeks, spun it enough to get to know it, and I love it. This is a 2017 reissue of 2013 original release. It's Saxon by numbers, really. It's when they got back into doing their heavier side, they've stuck to it. It works for them. Songs like Sacrifice, Warriors of the Road, Guardians of the Tomb, Stand Up and Fight, Wheels of Terror. It's just Saxon by numbers. If you want some good heavy Saxon, then you can't go wrong with Sacrifice. Lyrics and thank yous and pictures of the band. The classic lineup. Well, the lineup that's probably been together the longest. Looking forward to their new album next year. From what I've heard, it's pretty damn good. We're going to stay in 1988, and this did pop up on my 88 video, as I think Holy Terror did. UK thrash this time. This is Deathwish and their second album, Demon Preacher, 2016 reissue. Surprise, surprise, on back on black. Again, great package, gatefold, lyrics on the inside, and this is just plain back vinyl. Oh no, it's on red. Not limited edition red as it is these days. Custom label on the other side is just that cover image there. I will take that out, and I'm doing the thing I tell people not to do, which is try and put the thing back in the damn cover while filming a video. Schoolboy error. But Deathwish, if you've not heard of them, they're UK thrash, but they're more on the heavy metal thrash side than, say, like Holy Terror, which is more sort of full-on thrash. A lot of UK bands had kind of like a punky background to them and a bit rough and ready, and Deathwish to me fit nicely within that that description. So pretty raw heavy metal with thrash elements to it, but I love it. Those first two Deathwish albums are fantastic. I picked up the first one, what was that called? At the Edge of Damnation on CD earlier, because the vinyl's a little bit more expensive, but that will be on my wish list for 2022 to pick up that first album. Again, the Back on Black reissue is all I need. A couple more for you. Another change of direction. We are all over the place today, aren't we? This is Offoam or Offoam. I have no idea how this band pronounces their name. Excuse my fingers there, young lady. Tales from Outer Space. Now, these guys are French, and this is instrumental stoner rock. Love that that cover. Their first album is one of my favourite album covers of all time. You'll have to have a look at that one. It's just amazing artwork, unbelievable. And this isn't too shabby itself. There are 10 tracks on this, but being an instrumental album, I couldn't tell you which is the good track, because it does all kind of meld into one. But it's something that I can just chuck on, and elements stick out on the songs. You know, a good riff or a good solo or a good rhythm in there, and you suddenly you kick in and start listening to it again. Not the biggest fan of instrumental albums. I don't have that many, but I have 2 albums from these guys now, and very happy with them. Something a little bit different, something to take me away, palate cleanser, if you like. And yeah, if you like your stoner and you don't mind instrumental, then check out these guys. So that's Offoam. I was going to see if it's any clearer on the spine, but it's one of those unreadable spines. But yeah, really enjoy that. And last one I've got for you today is Grand Magus and The Hunt. This is a fantastic album. I've had this on CD for quite some time, and it's a Back on Black reissue, no less. I was alerted to a guy on eBay selling a bunch of these by Rock Scout, and gave me the link. I went over there, made a cheeky offer on it, and won a copy for myself. So really good Grand Magus album. This is the period that I really love. It's 2012 was the original release, so this is a 2019 reissue. I think this is coloured. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is got a very nice sort of clear vinyl with red and black splatter. Almost kind of, you know, when people talk about the vinyl colour should match the cover. But it's if the hunt ends in a kill, then you've got the red splatter to go along with it. So rather poetic, I think. Picture of the band and lyrics. Again, this is a double album as well, if I remember. Yeah, it's a double album as well. The album is spread over 3 sides, and then you've got some covers at the bottom. Silver Moon, Storm King. No, actually, no. I'm thinking of the other album that they did covers on. Talking bollocks, aren't I? But you've come to expect that in my videos. So this pretty much fills my Grand Magus The Hunt collection. I am one short, and I think the album I am missing is Hammer of the North. That's right, the 2010 release. That's harder to find, but New Year's resolution for 2022 is to complete the Grand Magus vinyl collection. They've had, so this is their 5th album, and they've had about 8 in all, so one more to go. Let's hope 2022 is a year that I can find it. So that's your lot. Oh, I didn't really, if you don't, I've talked about Grand Magus a lot, so I don't really have to go in the style, but it is kind of epic, epic metal with a tinge of sort of doom to it, doom-laden heavy metal, but not being doom at all, which is clear as mud. So, thanks for watching. As usual, let me know in the comments your favourite releases that I've shown here, or favourite albums from these bands, or similar bands you think I should check out. I do this for the comments section, really, just to it's my way of interacting. I live in a house with my family, and none of them appreciate metal, so feel my pain. Talk to me in the comments. Have a great Christmas and a New Year. I've got a bunch of videos I need to do. I was certainly going to do some between Christmas and New Year when I'm off. I want to complete the 80s flick through. I wanted to do that before the end of the year, but there's 4 more to go, and there's probably too many videos to put out. I'm not going to do I don't think I'm going to do a best of 2021. I might do a review where I show all my pickups, but I picked up a lot less this year than I have in previous years. I was a little bit more picky, and it wouldn't really be a best of. It'd just be one of the favourite things that I've picked up. So I'll watch out for those, or I may not do any before the new year. Who knows? I have no schedule. I just do it when I feel like it. So yeah, enjoy your holidays if you're off. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.